I hold the testimony of Jesus. And so do you. The testimony of Jesus is the spirit of prophecy. So there are too many excuses, contrivances, doctrines that have produced strongholds in the minds of believers, of church folks, from entering into the fellowship of the mystery. We are joined, we are beholden, we have experienced him, and we still try to filter all of our conversations through dogmatic analysis and forsake and deny the fellowship that we already have in the mystery. What is the mystery? The mystery, the secret that was hidden from ages and generations, for ages and generations, and all through the Old Testament, all through the whole history of mankind and all the Old Testament, they didn't know. I hold the testimony of Jesus. You hold the testimony of Jesus, which is what? Christ in you, the hope of glory. That mankind is immersed in divinity, infused with the pleasure of heaven. This calls for some stark authenticity, because we're not punching our clocks anymore. We're not punching in to some sort of exclusive bless me club, saying that I've ascribed to the right doctrine, I've said the right words, and therefore I belong. I'm included. Now let's have that's not the fellowship of the mystery. The fellowship of the mystery is coming out from your humanity and understanding that in all of our goings, in all of our history, in all of our failings, and all of our going astray, that we have been upheld. That there was something waiting. There is a deposit that was yearning for an unearthing, that through the gospel is now revealed. What was the mystery that was hidden from ages and generations, but is now revealed? Christ in you, the hope of glory. In you, but you didn't know it. In you, but you weren't awakened to it. The imminence of God's presence in you. In him all things consist and have being. And the reason why this becomes really imperative is because if we don't grasp this, we are going to fall into pretense and we're going to compromise authenticity. And I can't sidestep this anymore. This isn't something that I am able to obfuscate or deny. When you hold the testimony of Jesus, all of your best efforts to cover, all your best efforts for religious activities, all your best efforts to employ fig leaves to cover those private parts like Adam and Eve, they're not going to avail you of any satisfaction anymore. That's not a revelation of mystery. It's like, put away the fig leaf, come full frontal in authenticity and transparency before God, and start reckoning the reality of what line and color and beauty that has been infused upon you, in you, that has been delighted by God the Father, who has been delighted to reveal his Son in you. So, I have the testimony of Jesus that in 1989, 1988, 1980, let's go back even a little further. In 1988, I was heartbroken over a gay lover. And for whatever reason, a song came on the radio. I'll spare you the details. But there was a divine intervention beyond my understanding, beyond my knowing, oh, this is God intervening, and there's a seed being planted in my heart. But a song came on the radio, If I Could Walk on Water by Eddie Money. If I Could Walk on Water. And there was a call, there was an overture from heaven to me, that there was a joining in with my passion, with my yearning, with my heartbrokenness, with my love sickness. Yeah, with a gay lover, that he was joined in that. This is the mystery. The mystery that was hidden, that he was imminent in the midst of a gay drama. And it put me in tears. It was like there was an incident, there was a conflict, there were repercussions, there were hurt feelings, and then that song came on, and it broke me. And if I could walk on water, Jesus walked on water, remember? The sea remembers. The waves know. And his yearning and his deliberation and his passion for us to meet us in the deep, regardless of, how well we ascribe or line up to doctrines and protocols and morality. I've actually shared this at different times. I think I've mentioned it in some videos, and I mentioned it in the context of fellowship. But it's not been, with these Christian folks that I've had conversation with, it's not been the fellowship of the mystery, because I know I'm talking to a wall. That the presence of Jesus met me. The reality that he would walk on water, the reality that he would go to whatever length, his arm is not short that it cannot save. And he reaches in and he joins with us in the midst of our passions. So I am just pondering this tonight, that there's a call to authenticity. This is my story. You've got yours. And not being able to be authentic and share this in the midst of those that have fellowship in Christian communities and in church communities shows me that this isn't the fellowship of the mystery, because the mystery was that what was hidden from ages and generations, what was hidden in my life in 1988, was the presence of Christ with me, sharing my heart's longings, my love sickness, bearing my burdens. And somehow we've construed this to, well, it's not until you say the right prayer, it's not until you've had that born again experience that you become, qualified to have that fellowship in the mystery. And it was like, okay, then I was, and you can argue it. The fundamentalists argue, well, you were a child of wrath, and that God's displeasure was upon you, and he can't look upon sin, and so how could he be there? And they don't equate it. And that's, when I came to Christ on this context, understanding this was the fellowship of the mystery. And then I got indoctrinated, and I I joined the Bless Me Club. And so this seed was in me, this experience that I had, I wasn't able to share it because there wasn't a grid in the Christian community to start talking openly about Christ's presence in something that they deemed as unclean or whatever. But I just have to throw this out. I've been wanting to unpack this fellowship of the mystery word for a while. I am being seriously tried by the Lord right now that this needs to be something that is an open show. This needs to be for the display of his splendor. This is something that I have experienced. It is the fellowship of the mystery. And in your heart of hearts, in those places, Lord, in those places where you have not reckoned that he could be present, that those depths of our humanity, that we need to like come apart from in order to come into Christ, and then we can start talking. It's like he meets you where you are. If you can't talk to me in the place where you are, if you can't talk to me from a place of base authenticity, then that's not the fellowship of the mystery. That's just religious jargon. Yeah. This needs to flesh out. This needs to be something that's talked about more openly. And I haven't talked about it openly because a lot of the sanctification and the protocols and the rigmarole that I subjected myself to, as far as, the whole pray the gay away season of my life and things of that nature, there was such an impetus in me it was a man-pleasing thing. It was like, I got to please my parents. I thought I had to please my parents. They love me. Or to rise to the standards of I wasn't free to share this. And I am now. And I need to start fleshing this out. So, let's have some fellowship in the mystery. Because that mystery that was hidden from ages and generations is now revealed, and there's no going away. We're going to be propelled into a place of transparency, whether we like it or not. So we might as well start having fellowship in that mystery now, in those dark places and those shadows and those things that chafe us, that we can't even look at our shadow work. It's like that's all coming to light, and it's daunting, but it's free. It's free.